crown chakra is complete, and I used a really beautiful piece of quartz for the crown chakra, and it got so warm I actually had to remove it from my forehead because I was like, "Ooh, that's really warm. How'd that happen?" But so much energy came through, and so when I work with the crown chakra, I know it's about knowledge. It's about higher knowledge, connection with ourselves and um, our higher beings. You can think of it as God or Jesus, if you are of that persuasion. Or you can think of the higher power as just a more intelligent being. Um, or I'm Hecatean, so I equate it with Hecate. I equate it with Thoth. Um, I equate it with, depending on the knowledge that I need to know, will depend on the higher being that I will reach out to. And I use my crown chakra for that purpose. So, knowledge is what always comes through. It's knowledge, it's knowledge, it's knowledge. And I'm like, so I kind of asked this time, I was like, what else, other than knowledge, right? And then the thought process of, you can always start from the beginning. You can always start from anew. And I'm like, well, what do you do before you have knowledge? You have to learn. So let's look at the word learn, right? Let's look at what learning means. And in my mind, I imagine a tree. I don't know what anybody else imagines when they think of the word learning, but I imagine the tree, and I'm the trunk. The body is the trunk, right? And then out of my mind are branches, and each branch is a different subject to learn. And the leaves are the information of that subject. And some branches grow big and strong and sturdy, lots of leaves, lots of foliage. But there are some branches that just don't thrive. They don't grow. Either it's because it's at the beginning, I'm just now learning of the subject, and it's new and it hasn't found its way yet, or I'm just not interested in that subject. It's just, I don't need to know. So that branch is kind of stunted. Why? Why are there some subjects that I don't want to learn and almost refuse to learn? Why? So that comes to more introspection about my connection with that subject. And I recently did not do well in marketing, and I'll have to repeat it. And so asking those questions as to why am I struggling to grow that branch? Why am I struggling to find interest in growing that branch? Is it because there are too many other branches around it that's kind of stifling it, right? Is that it? There's too many other subjects that I'm learning that are not allowing that branch to fully grow and become a bigger branch. I don't know, and I'm still learning, and it's such a great word, like learning. Of course, right? Before you have knowledge, you have to learn. So I'll read you some of what I wrote. It goes along the lines of the tree and the branches, but I think of myself as a weeping willow, where the branches are so full of knowledge that they drape, that they fall over and they touch the ground. And I like to think of myself as providing the knowledge that I've learned, and it drips over and it teaches others my knowledge, giving my learning, what I've learned, and giving it to others. And it's graceful, and it's slow, because if you learn about something too quickly, you will miss the smaller details of that information. You'll go straight to the meat and potatoes, but hey, there's other layers here. There's corn. There's a flavor involved. Uh, there are intricacies in everything that we learn. So there's so many leaves that we could add to that branch. There's no such thing as too much. You can branch off of another branch. So you sway in the breeze, and you give that knowledge that you've learned to others. And sometimes they give it back to you. And it's a metaphor for my own mind, and when I think about learning, and when I think about growing, and then when I think about knowledge. I'll also like to equate the crown chakra with the other chakras, almost like a full circle. So I take the words I know, right? I know I can learn. I know I can use my instincts to better myself. I know I have a voice and I can speak with it, and I can also listen. I know that I do things with my heart so that I'm not misunderstood and that people see the love inside of me. You're not going to see my solar plexus, but I know that I have courage. I know that I have the courage to do the things that I want to do the things that I need to do, to do the things that I know will help me. And at my sacral, I know that I have the creativity to move through anything that I'm struggling with. I know that the creativity will open that box, or the information will be on the outside of that box. I'll find it. It's there. With my creativity, I'll be able to see it. And then finally, with my root, I know what I need to do. I know the actions I need to take. I know the road I need to be on. I know the ground I need to stand. So I really hope anybody watches this, nobody watches this, everybody watches this, that you grow to understand chakras a little more. Chakras are they are an energy center in our bodies, but there's so much to learn from each one, and how it can equate to your life and give you a fulfillment that you didn't know existed before. I do chakra work daily with everything that I do. Like if I'm making something to eat, what foods will better this chakra? And it affects everything in your life: what you wear, how you talk, how you approach things, how do you see the world, and how do you think the world sees you? Because that's a real question, right? I mean, I ask myself when I go out in public looking the way that I do, if they understand me, if they can see me. I don't care their opinions, but I do care that they care about the soul that's inside of me, because it's real. I'll look for their soul if they look for mine, and we'll all look out for each other with love and understanding, acceptance, and the will to learn. Let's learn from each other. Every interaction is something to learn. It's a new branch, a new leaf on the tree. All right. Happy spring 2025.